Hey, what is up everybody? It is Wick here. I've got some items I've sold using Amazon FBA, and today's theme is just stuff that I've picked up thrift stores. I believe it's all thrift stores. Maybe there's a garage sale item in here, I can't remember. But I want to show you how easy it is to make good money and not really have to spend that much money. And I know people like to see stuff I find when I'm out sourcing, but people also like to see what is actually selling. And of course, this is not all my sells or anything like that, but it is a good example. I picked out some nice ones in this video. The first one here is this Panasonic Lumix camera. This is probably going to be one of my best finds of the year, I would imagine. I paid $3 for this thing at a church ran thrift store, and I sold it for $249.99. My profit after all fees, cost, shipping, and everything is $222.12. So that's some good profit there on this camera. It was in immaculate condition. I remember it didn't have a price on it, and I went to ask the guy. I was afraid he was going to say, a ridiculous price. He's like, how's $3 sound? And I'm like, sounds great. So it was a really nice camera. It was in great condition. The batteries were still charged in it, and I was able to test it right there. So that was a really awesome pickup, and I'm glad it sold, and I'm glad to have made the money. Here is a typical bread and butter item. This was a 5-pack of Sony VHS. This came out of a thrift store. I believe it was $3. And I sold my set of 5 here for $39.57. After all fees and everything, I made $25.20. So, yeah, I've sold a lot of these over the years. I tend to find a lot of VHS. Sony does the best 5-pack here. Right now it's selling for $32.99, and the price does fluctuate a lot. Sometimes they're $45, sometimes they're down to $30. And I kind of price in the middle to get my price is usually what I do. But these have went down a lot. You used to be able to get like $45, $50 for a set of 5 like this. But yeah, the price is down a bit, but they're still great money. Now, this was a interesting find here. Passport to Purity. This was some sort of book set. It had a couple audio CDs in it as well. I seen it at Goodwill, so I did some research. It was $5, and I'm like, "Whoa, this sells for around $100." I wasn't sure I was actually going to get that, but I sent it in, and it sold really quick. So I sold it for $99.99, and I made $73.13 in the end. So for a $5 purchase into that, so not quite as good as the $3 into $222 with the camera, but I still take finds like this all the time. Here is a Magnavox DVD recorder. This was used. I bought this at a St. Francis thrift store, and I had to pay $40 for it, but the guy told me that I could return it if it did not work. So I went ahead and paid that, and had a remote with it, but it turned out I didn't pay attention and it was the wrong remote. So I bought a remote to put with it, and that was another $10. It was an off-brand remote, but it was identical. I made sure to put that in the description that it came with the remote. It was off-brand. I put the brand. Actually, the remote was amazing condition. Was not generic at all. Fully tested it and everything when it arrived. So I had $50 into this, and I sold it for $250 and made $165.20. And I know someone's going to ask or be curious on how you sell these FBA, and really you just mummify them in bubble wrap. I usually take shrink wrap and go over that too. Kind of makes it like a bubble wrapped football, and I have the remote in there and the cables and everything like that, just kind of rubber banded on there underneath the shrink wrap and bubble wrap as well. You want to make sure you describe everything, and I highly recommend. I know people tell me all the time they don't do this and they don't have problems, but I don't recommend it, and that's selling things without the remote or the cables, because somebody's going to not see that or not read it that in your private listing, and they're going to expect it and they're going to be mad. I've done like maybe 2 or 3 without including the remote and stuff, and I've had people be like, hey, there's no remote with this. And I'm like, well, I told you in the condition notes that there was no remote, but we can refund you $25. And it's just not worth the hassle. It's just not worth people getting upset. So I highly recommend making sure everything's complete. You can still sell these great on eBay if they're not. Amazon's just, you got to be careful what you sell on Amazon used. I only sell these on Amazon as well if they're in really good physical condition. If they got any noticeable scratches that are, kind of deep or anything, I kind of just want to sell them on eBay because people expect higher quality on Amazon. So here is another electronic. Now this one I only paid $10 for. This is a DVD player recorder. Had the remote with this, $10 at a Goodwill. Sold it for $119.99. After fees and cost, $85.09. So always got to make sure you fully test these things too. Made sure it was recording properly and everything was working. And I sold it. And you can see they don't have the greatest reviews either, like 2.5 stars. I think a lot of those reviews come from people selling them used and maybe not testing them or not including stuff. Because these type of electronics, if you see them new on Amazon, they're usually $400, $500. And I do know that people try to sell these used as new, and it's just ridiculous. With all the new sellers coming in and just trying to do stuff like that, they're just, for one, they're destroying their own account and missing out on great opportunities with Amazon, and they're ruining listings because it's driving reviews down, and it's just a mess. Don't do it. Just do what you're supposed to do. So I had a JVC DVD recorder combo unit that did not work, so I'm going to sell that for parts on eBay, but the remote worked fine, and I sold this on Amazon used. I sold it for $49.99 and got $39.30. So pretty good money for a remote. I actually have another one of these remotes. I'm kind of saving it because I just feel like I'm going to find another JVC unit and it's not going to have a remote. And I'm like, well, that's like $50 sale. I might as well just sell it. And then, as soon as I sell it, sure enough, I'm going to find one. I guarantee it. So I picked up this Star Trek puzzle. It was a really cool puzzle at Salvation Army for $2.99 plus tax. I ended up selling this for $39.99. You can see right now there's one $47.77 plus $5.49 shipping. I can't remember if I lowered the price or I just wanted to price it at that. But yeah, I got $40 for mine, and I'm not going to send in a sealed puzzle unless it's new, especially one like this. And also I want to make sure that it's no corner damage, no tears in the shrink wrap. Like, it needs to be immaculate for me to sell this on Amazon, because this is something that can easily be a gift or a collector would want it. And it's nerve-wracking enough because you never know how Amazon's going to ship your stuff. So they may just throw it in a box and it gets beat up and it still ends up getting to the customer. But once it ships, it becomes Amazon's liability, and any bad feedback from that you can get removed pretty easily. My profit in the end, $23.33 for a puzzle. Here's a Wonder Art Latch Hook kit. Got this at a Goodwill for $5. There was no one on the listing currently selling it, so I decided just to price it at $50 to see if it would sell. I thought I could price it higher even, but I just went ahead and I want to move stuff. I don't want it for sitting forever either. And if you price stuff too high, people will get mad. But I did sell it for $50 and made $32.19 in the end, and it was actually got a good positive feedback. Guy left a message and said that it was for his wife, and she loved it and thanked me, and something you don't see too often on Amazon. But great flip. So I've been getting asked a lot recently how I sell books, why I'm not scanning books, why I'm not looking at books at thrift stores. And I just don't scan through every one. There are a lot of booksellers that frequent this area. I see multiples of them, and a lot of books just aren't worth the money anymore. So the fees are so high, and I'm really picky with what books I buy. I got this one at Salvation Army for $1, and I sold it for $27.99, made $16.13 in the end. So this was, a book I would pick up. Now, I'm kind of done paying $2 to make $2 or $3 on a book, because there's not a lot of sourcing opportunities around here for books, mostly Goodwill, and they want $1 for a paperback, $2 for a hardback, or they'll put a random price on even higher. So yeah, and like if I found a good book source for like 5 or 10 cents per book, then maybe I would send them in for $2 or $3. But a lot of times the price drops on these books because they're so competitive. But anyway, you can see right here that if you had this book, you could get $11 Amazon gift card just right instantly, just trade it in right then. So that's another option you can do with a lot of these books, especially ones that you might be restricted in, because they do restrict a lot of college books. Always make sure if you're restricted, see if you can sell yours for a gift card. Why not? Then finally, one more electronic. I've been trying to get my death pile of electronics moving over the past few weeks. This is a Samsung Blu-ray player, 2013 model. You wouldn't think people would want to buy this and pay this much for it when you can get other brands or even Samsung's newer models for like the same price. But people do for whatever reason. Maybe it's their old model and theirs messed up and they just want what they had before. But I paid $10 for this at a Goodwill, had the remote with it already. $68.89 is what I sold it for. $46.74 profit in the end. So really good profit for it. It was pretty small, easy to ship, bubble wrap it just like the other electronics. Didn't sit for too long. But yeah, that's 10 items that I sold recently on Amazon I thought was kind of interesting. And I paid $98.44 for all 10 of these items. And my total profit in the end was $728.43. So only had to spend about $100 to make $700 some dollars. That's what's really awesome about thrifting. Your buy cost is pretty low. Retail arbitrage, I could be paying, to make $728, I might be paying $700 to make that. And a lot of people, they don't have the money to have tied up in that. And a lot of stuff I do buy retail arbitrage wise, I have to hold it for months, maybe even up to a year. So all that money's tied up into it till I can get the price to where I want it to be because of competition. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that like button for me. If you disliked it, don't forget to hit the dislike button, I suppose. And leave a comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all the stuff that every YouTuber wants you to do. This has been Wick. Till next time.